Hello everybody, how's everybody doing? This is Tonetta. I'm coming to you with a cooking demo. Actually, I have no recipe tonight actually, because this is a recipe that I've made before, or a meal that I've made before. And today is Friday, so I'm making something easy and simple. Well, may not be easy, like one, two peasy easy, but I'm making actually homemade calzones, which are like a dough stuffed, like a stuffed pizza roll, I guess you can say, like a big giant pizza roll. So like I said, I'm making some calzones, and I want to welcome you all to my page, or to my channel, to my YouTube channel. And if you all haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you're clicking the button down below that says subscribe, and of course click the notification bell for all, so that you can receive all the videos that I upload in the moment that I upload them. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, I'm making homemade calzones. I've already actually, I should have, let me see, hold on. I've already actually put the dough aside. The dough is, I'm making this kind of pizza crust. I got it from Walmart. I think it was like 50 cents or something. I got that. So it just takes a half a cup of hot water and let it sit. Of course, stir it up. Let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then go ahead and use it in whatever you're going to do with the dough. So I'm using that for my dough. I just chopped up 2 small mushrooms, which I wish I would have got some more when I went to Aldi, but that's okay. I have, as always, onions, bell peppers, and jalapenos is going into this as well. And then I have my shredded, well, I have cheese. I have to shred up too. I have mozzarella, and I don't know what this is, Kobe Monterey Jack. I have that. So that's all going to be in my calzone. That's all that I have in the house to put in there. I put it that way. So I don't have any meat to go in there at all. I don't put meat in them, but you can, of course, add whatever kind of meat, hamburger, bacon, chicken, pork, whatever you want to put in there. So like I said, mine is just going to be a vegetarian one, I guess you can say, for tonight. So, and like I said, I want to welcome you all again. I hope everybody's had a great week. I'm trying to pull these seeds up out of there, Lord. What's going on? All right now. But I hope everybody's had a great week so far. Uh-oh. And looking forward to the Super Bowl for this weekend. I believe it's San Francisco and actually one of our teams here in Missouri, the Kansas City Chiefs actually. So from what I understand, that's in the Super Bowl. I'm not really a big football fan. I know, of course, what's going on. I was there watching the game when they played the last few games. So I know that they're in the Super Bowl. So kudos to both of those teams for making it. I know we're supposed to go out to just, I think, a bar and grill, because I don't think we're going to actually do like a party or anything this time, but go out this time, I believe. So if not, then we'll be here watching it, which is fine. Doesn't matter. It's not really big for me, so it doesn't really matter. So like I said, it still would be a joy, I'm sure. And I hope everybody's had a great week. Of course, as you all know, I have a sweets business. My sweets business, where I make candy and caramel apples and, of course, homemade candies. It's called Tony's Apples and Sweet Treats. And I'm, of course, based out of St. Louis, Missouri. And this week I've learned some interesting things. I guess not interesting like that. Well, eye-opening things, like as far as business goes and that kind of thing. The main thing that I learned this week, because I know I'm not the only one that's probably listening who has a startup business or anything along those lines. My business technically isn't a startup. But I did revamp the business to do something totally different than I had done before. So I guess in that way you can say it's kind of a startup. Or a new business, I mean. But like I said, I make candy apples and caramel apples and things like that, homemade candies. And some of that stuff is on my page here. But some of the things that I learned this week, or the main thing that I learned this week, is to have faith and trust and believe in what you're doing. Because, of course, if you don't, nobody else will. I put it that way. And I know it's hard sometimes for us entrepreneurs and for those of us who, of course, are trying to go into business for ourselves to all the time have faith. Because, I mean, sometimes things happen and we're getting upset about something in work, or business moving too slow, or it's not taking off as you anticipated. Like I said, we have to still keep the faith. I know that's something hard, because my business isn't, of course, taking off like I would hope that it would, or anything else either. But this concept that I'm just doing now, so I just started doing. I did candy and caramel apples like years ago, maybe like a time or two. But I just officially started my entire business last month to just be, actually, I think that was November, to just be caramel and candy apples, actually. So And that's a big step from baking. I guess I'd say that because of course I was a baker making cupcakes. I'll still make cupcakes and stuff, but like I said, now it's just the candy and caramel apple. So and the homemade candies. So like I said, that was a big step, and I had to have faith in myself that I can of course make this happen, and belief. Like I said, there's it takes a lot when you're an entrepreneur because when you're working for somebody, of course, it's different. You don't have to, of course, bring in the money to get paid. You're already being paid because you're at work and you're doing whatever job it is or task it is that when you're at work. So, like I said, it's totally different from being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, you have to, of course, bring in the paychecks. I put it that way. They're not just given to you, so you have to work for them. Whether that means going out there scouting for potential clients, networking, calling on the phone, emailing, sending messages, whatever it is, it means that you have to do that to bring in your own paycheck. And like I said, a lot of people, I'm 43, so a lot of people, of course, maybe at this age, maybe like, I don't want to do that, and I don't want to take the time to, of course, start back over, all those kind of things, and they don't follow their dreams, I guess, to become happy. Like I said, I had to do that for myself. I had to have faith in what I was doing and just take that leap and hope that everything goes okay. Like I said, I just started it within the last 3 months, and we'll see where it goes from here. I guess I'll say that. But like I said, I know I have a lot of faith that things are going to work out. I know and knew that things were not going to work out in the beginning. I knew that because it's just getting started, and the concept here has to take off, and they have to get used to me doing apples now instead of bacon now, I guess I put it that way. So like I said, yeah, it is a big chunk, but that's okay. I knew that it was going to be, oh, come on now, what's going on? But I knew that it was going to be, but like I said, I took that leap anyway and decided to go ahead and just do it. So I didn't think about it a long time. I thought about mainly what was going on with this market in this area. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. So I had to think about the market here and what's best for this market here to me. So like I said, that was the interest that I had as far as doing something different, because I know I've been doing baking for a while now, for years now, and it's kind of getting kind of stagnant to me. There's a lot of folks here are baking and making stuff like that, and I mean, like I said, it's not that I won't bake anymore, but that's just not my main business, my main focus anymore. And I had to figure out what was best for this market and for myself and, of course, for my happiness. So, like I said, that's why I chose the caramel and candy apples. Just a change for me, a challenge for me. I don't know how to perfect everything just thus far, but like I said, I'm working on it and creating things and trying to learn. So that's what it takes. And I'm willing, of course, at this age, at 43, to, of course, start learning something different. I know many won't at this age, and they'll just stay stagnant, stay in their same jobs, or because it's comfortable, or whatever else the case may be. But like I said, I had to make myself happy, and I had to do what I had to do. So like I said, that was definitely a lot of faith and having trust that things are going to work out. I don't know if they're going to work out. Nobody has a blueprint. That was another thing I learned this week, of course, as far as having businesses and stuff like that. Like I said, nobody has a blueprint to business, to life, to anything like it at all. So you don't know how things are going to turn out until you try to do them. And if it fails, it fails. If it's not, if it doesn't, it doesn't. If it takes off, it's a successful idea, then that's what it's going to be. But if not, then of course, like I said, you took your chance. If it failed, that's your lesson learned. Like I said, there's a lot of lessons that comes out of failures. I know that. I've had many failures. I've had a gift basket business, candy bouquet business a few years ago. I like sweets and stuff, making stuff like that, y'all. So I had a candy bouquet business and a gift basket making business back in, I think it was 2015, 16, 17, somewhere along in there. Let me see, 16, 17. I closed it in 18 actually, because it doesn't seem like it was a viable market here in St. Louis. So I did close that business. And not to say that I will not go back to it. Yes, I will. It just won't be here. I guess I put it that way. But I will, of course, go back to it. And I will, of course, be donating different items to different charities for auctions and things like that. So I will be making gift baskets, because I have that skill now. So, like I said, that's something I will be doing. So I just won't be a full-fledged business, I don't think, here, unless it, for some reason people are requesting them again, that kind of thing. But like I said, that's something that I had to decide, and I closed that business because, like I said, I know I didn't at that time have my full-fledged why as to why I wanted that business and what I wanted to do and that kind of thing. I didn't even have faith that the business was going to work, and so thus far it didn't work. Back then it didn't work. So like I said, now I've had a different outlook on life as far as finding my happiness. That's been my whole entire journey since early 2018, is seeking my happiness. Like I said, I had to figure out what is going to make me happy and what's going to sustain me in being happy. And that was one of the things that I knew I had to get rid of at that point, so I could focus on other things, of course, which I've stated in some of the videos down below. If you haven't watched some of those, about my relationship and breakup and all those kind of things, finding God, all those videos are down below, and I'll talk about that again at some point. But like I said, those were things that I had to do. Oh my God, my eyes are burning so bad. Y'all, my eyes are burning. Jesus Christ. Woo! Lord. Eyes are burning, eyes are burning. Okay. Still gotta wash my hands though. My eyes are burning. Whew. I don't know what y'all do when y'all get cut onions and your eyes are burning, but I'm putting this onion up. That's enough onions. Put it that way. That is enough onions. As you all see, I've already cut up a plate of, let me put this. And just to let you all know, like I said in the beginning, I'm making homemade calzones. I just cut up 2 mushrooms. That's all that I had left in the fridge. The rest of the bell peppers is about almost a whole bell pepper. So I'm making 2 of them, 2 big ones actually. And about a half of an onion, I think I put, because I love all the veggies and stuff. So I did that, and I already got the dough over there in the ball with a little bit of olive oil on top, just to oil a little bit, so I can, of course, work with it and spread it out once I get to that point. So, which I'm almost to that point. So like I said, that's what's going into this calzone. I'm going to set this up here on the stove. So I'm going to be making them over there. The next thing I got to get, first I got to get this doggone onion off my hands. And a friend of mine, he actually, of course, is a chef, that kind of thing. He let me know that to get the onion smell off your hands, of course, you can use lemon juice. So I have some. I'm going to wash my hands first, and then, of course, put them in lemon juice for a second. What I'm going to do with that, I'm just going to pour a little bit of lemon juice into my hands and rub it around, and then wash it off. So, and it should be all right. I'm good to go. I don't want to touch my face and my eyes. My eyes are burning because I got onions in my hand. I mean, on my hand still. That and jalapenos, because I've done that before, y'all. Cutting up jalapenos and rub my face and burning to death. So crazy. I know it wasn't funny then, but it's funny now. But like I said, I've done that in the past. So done that in the past. And right now, I'm actually going to start shredding up the cheese. Actually, oh, I didn't even show y'all how the dough looked. I'm sorry, y'all. Lord. This is how my dough ball looks. It's just a big old ball of dough right now. It's just been sitting there for probably about 15 minutes now, or actually 13 minutes. I've been cutting up this, so that's what the clock says on there. Like I said, it's going to sit there until I get my cheese done, and then I'm going to start. And just to let you know, I did make a pan, have my pan ready. I have foil on here, sprayed it down with a little bit of cooking spray. And just to let you know, I always try to use foil for everything that I do when I'm making, like whether it's pizzas or these calzones or anything that's going into the oven. For me, it's easy cleanup. Once it's done, I just grab the foil, throw it in the trash, and the pan is still clean. So that's why I'm always using foil line pans and stuff like that, just in case you all are wondering. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and shred up this cheese. There we go. And I think I got I got a little small piece of mozzarella left from last time. I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to get these scissors. Okay. Got the scissors up there because I'm going to have to cut these other ones open. Like I said, I'm using mozzarella and Kobe Monterey Jack, but you can use any cheese that you want to use. It does not matter. You want to just use all mozzarella or all cheddar or whatever. You can use whatever you want to use. You can even put blue cheese inside of these. If you want to put blue cheese or feta, it's up to you too. And Parmesan as well. You can do what you want to do with them as far as the actual ingredients and inside. And when I get over there, I'm going to show you all how I'm going to make these. But like I said, I'm just shredding up the cheese right now. And like I said, those were some of the things I learned in business this week. And it goes with life too. And like I said before, there's no blueprint to anything that you want to do. I don't care what age you are, it's never too late to do anything. I think I've told this story before, but when I was back in college, it was my English class actually. There was an 80 something year old woman in there. And of course I was like, what's going on? She was the oldest one in our class. Of course we were in college and most of us were in our like late teens and stuff like that. Young, I guess I'd say. And she of course was in our class and people were afraid to go over and say something to her. I mean, I was the one, I'm gonna go over and talk to her and see what her story is. I love hearing people's stories. So I went over there, of course, was talking to her, trying to find out what was going on while she was in our class, and she let me know that getting her college degree was something that she had promised herself a long time ago and told her husband that she would do, and she had never gotten a chance to do it before, and her husband had passed away about a year or so before that, and she promised herself that she was, like I said, was going to get that. She had always promised herself that, she said. And like I said, she was 80-something years old. She only had a semester left for school, so that tells you what kind of dedication, what kind of belief and faith in herself that she had. And she knew, of course, that she was older, and there was a possibility that she could die any day, just like any of us. And like I said, she, of course, was going to school, doing the same thing we were doing, because she promised herself that. Like I said, she had faith in herself that she was going to complete that, and that she was going to do whatever she was going to do with it. And actually, I did ask her. She wasn't going to do anything. She just wanted to have that degree, because that's what she promised herself, and that's what she promised her husband before he had passed away. So like I said, it's never too late to do anything that you want to do. You just have to have the faith in yourself, belief in yourself, and in your action, in your skills and your abilities, and that you're going to take action behind those things, to go ahead and complete those things. Like I said, there's nothing that you can't do. I'm in the business of building people. I love doing that. Building people up and getting them motivated to do whatever they want to do. That's something I've always loved. And like I said, there's nothing that you can't do, I can't do either. I put it that way. And I want to see if anybody else out there, if anybody else out there listening, if you have something that you want to do that you have been putting on hold, the reason why, and first, what is it? And of course, ow, Jesus. Almost cut my finger. And why you put it on hold. Like I said, I know a lot of times we can make all the damn excuses in the world. We got kids, we ain't got enough money, we ain't got this, but if you start asking around and you're serious about what you're doing, you can find the resources to do anything you want to do. And I'm learning that. I put it that way. You can find resources for anything. Almost anything. But if it's going back to school, starting a business, stuff like that, there's all types of free resources. I know here in St. Louis, it may be some other barriers as far as getting licensing and getting legal, that kind of thing. But like I said, there's always all kind of resources that you can, of course, do and take advantage of. You just have to want to do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't want it that bad, then you won't, of course, you're not going to pursue it. And like I said, there's a lot of times that I, of course, was on the receiving end, saying I'm going to do this and do that. Actually, like my sweets business, it's had, of course, I ain't gonna say 50 names, but it's had several different names over the years. But I've changed my business a few times. I've stopped doing the business. I got so frustrated, things weren't taking off, and I thought it was a waste of my time. And I've been in the sweets business for at least over 10 years, y'all. Probably like a little bit over 10 years. Making cakes off and on, selling them, that kind of thing, for at least the last 10 years, y'all. And like I said, in the business, but I was off and on in the business, I put it that way. Of course, I didn't have the faith in myself that anything was going to come to fruition. Everybody else was doing it. Everybody and their mama was doing it, so what's the point? I'm not going to sell anything, all that kind of stuff. I didn't even have the faith in myself. And like I said, it took me until I'm 42, actually I guess 43, to have the faith in myself to get off my ass and to actually go out there and take action and do something about making me happy. So like I said, that's what I had to do. I did that a few months ago. I made sure that I was going to stick with it this time beyond all means necessary. I know we sometimes have goals and different things that we want to do. My goal behind all this, I have to move this camera, y'all, because I just shredded the cheese, and I'm going to go ahead and start getting this stuff together. You may not be able to see. You probably won't see everything. Probably not. Can you see? I'm trying to see if I can see. I'm still kind of dark, but you can. Okay, you can see me now. Okay. But like I said, as far as I forgot where I was going. Me having faith and trying to do things, and my goal for having a business was so that I can one day work for myself. That was the whole goal more than 10 years ago that I started saying to myself. Of course, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to have, and here I am, several times starting like sweets business, not doing what I think I should do in the business, not even working the business right. I guess I put it that way, as far as I feel is right. As far as trying to, of course, bring in income and actually get my business out there. I didn't do any of those things. I can't say the entire time. I didn't do them consistently. Like I said, I fell off many times, getting frustrated, getting upset. This won't never work, this ain't gonna work, all this kind of stuff. Like I said, that was something I had to realize. If my goal is to, of course, work for myself, it didn't fucking matter who was gonna not buy anything. I need to go to the next person is how that was gonna look now. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, that was something that I had to realize within my own life. Why I was sitting up there just piddler-patting around, and I know I had this goal to, of course, eventually work for myself and nobody else. And like I said, that was something I had to realize. I had to do. Nobody else, I don't know what I was waiting on. Nobody's going to give you a damn thing. You have to work on those things. I mean, of course, there's resources and stuff like that, but if you want something bad enough, you have to go out there and get it and find those things and do what you need to do for yourself, especially if that's a goal that you have. Like I said, I had to force myself. Well, I forced myself. I'm going to say I had to. I didn't have to do anything, but I forced myself to do so. So I know I'm not happy, and I was not happy in the job that I've had. Yes, I call them my investors, because they, of course, are my investors right now in my business to, of course, help me get it started, and to, of course, so I can work into bringing income until I can bring an income on my own. But like I said, I had to make that decision. I had to decide that. Nobody else could decide that for me. And like I said, that was something I had to decide. I don't know what I had been thinking all these years, I guess to put it that way. But I knew that I wasn't happy. Well, I mean, of course, I love the field. I'm a social worker, y'all. I don't think I mentioned that, but I am a social worker. I've been a social worker now for just a little bit over 20 years now. For a long time, for all the way over 20 years. And like I said, I knew back when I'm trying not to make so much noise. Jesus Christ. And I knew I wasn't as happy as I used to be in the field. I'm just getting sick and tired of just doing the same things over and over again. And it just seems like it still is a lot of bureaucracy. Some things you can't do, of course. And I'm the kind of person that wants to do things the way I see them, and it seems logical, and you don't need all those steps and all that authorization for this and that, especially if it's somebody's life and something's going on. Go ahead and authorize and get it done. That's how I always am with stuff like that. But it's field, you can't do that. A whole lot of steps you got to go through, a whole lot of checks and balances you got to go through, a whole lot of authorizations you have to go through, while people's lives are waiting in the wind. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, that's something that has gotten on my nerves for a long time now. I'm in a different business now, working for a different company, but when it's not as bad, when you're working with kids, I was working in the foster care system and then working with single moms. It wasn't as bad. It's not as much bureaucracy. But I know that I'm not 100% happy because it's not mine. So like I said, that's a goal that I had. I know a lot of you all out there have that same goal to, of course, have your own business, to, of course, work for yourself. Who in the hell do you think is going to give it to you? Like I said, you have to get out there and work for it. Nobody's going to give it to you. If there's something that you want, you have to get out there and get it. Yes, you can have support systems. You're going to have people that's helping you along the way or providing resources, that kind of thing. But if you're not out there pushing for it yourself, I'm trying to make it happen, then it won't happen. What is going on? My throat is tingling. Sorry about that, y'all. Watch out. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to get some water. My throat is tingling. Like I was saying, you can have all the goals in the world, but if you're not taking action on them, nobody else is going to take action on them either. You're going to end up the same way you were last year or this year. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, if that's something that you want, then go ahead and do that. But I could not do that to myself anymore at all. You may, but like I said, I won't. Or anybody else is out there watching may, but like I said, I just couldn't do that anymore to myself. Knowing that I wanted to be happy and I'm not fully happy in what I'm doing. So like I said, there was something I had to decide and force myself to decide. I did that last summer and said by any means necessary, whatever the hell I start, it's going to be finished. I put it that way. Now I knew that from the get-go. I knew that. Like I said, there was something I had to do. I wasn't leaving this earth until I was happy, fully happy. No matter what I'm doing. And I do, of course, want to speak. I want to go around speaking on stages and at conferences and things like that as well. I've always wanted to actually do a TED Talk. That was the reason why I started doing these live videos, actually. I started doing these live videos back in the fall of 2017 with this group called Live Masters, L-I-V-E, Masters, M-A-S-T-E-R-S. And they're actually on Facebook. And it's ran by Mike Chavez, actually. Like I said, I joined that group with an intention on one day doing a TED Talk. I have not gotten, of course, scheduled. That's something that I had to realize recently. And I'm still on video talking, doing all these things, but I wasn't taking action and doing anything with the speaking. I'll put it that way. So it's been, I guess 2.5 years now. And like I said, I haven't taken any action to do anything with the speaking at all. And so I'm deciding to, of course, start taking action with that. Putting it out there that I like to speak, that I do want to speak, that I want to be on stages. I was putting it out there yesterday as well. Like I said, I have to start doing that for myself. Nobody's going to do it for me. And if I sit there and keep talking about it and don't be about it and don't take any action, then I will never speak on anybody's stage or anybody's anything besides these damn videos, which I don't mind doing the videos. That's fine. But like I said, my goal is to, of course, be in front of an audience. And that's something that I've wanted to do for years now, and I'm going to make that happen. I put it that way. I'm not sure of the steps yet. I know some steps. I put it that way. But I don't have all the steps. I don't have everything in place. But I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing here. And like I said, keep putting it out there that I want to speak and that I'm going to speak and that kind of thing. And look for opportunities. That's what anybody would do. You have to look for opportunities to speak. And that I have not actively done. So that I will be doing as well. Along with my baking and cooking and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, that's something that I wanted to do. So with this, I'm study talking and forgot to tell y'all what's going on. So all my ingredients that I had, actually let me wash let me see if I can pick this up. I'll get my phone smelling like onions and food. Okay, all the ingredients that I have, of course, put them all on. I'm pressed out two, like cut the dough in half or pull the dough in half and put all the ingredients in there, the onions, bell peppers, mushrooms, and cheese on top. I'm going to go ahead and actually get these folded up. I forgot to show y'all that while I was doing this, y'all, but I got the talking. Okay, so let me see. I'm not going to put any sauce in the inside. I'm going to have the dipping sauce on the outside. I think I have some, what is that stuff called? Tomato sauce. Pizza sauce in the fridge. So once I get done, I'm going to actually cut this up, I guess I'd say. And of course, dip it in the sauce, some of it in the sauce if I want some sauce. Or you can do the same thing. Like I said, you don't have to have sauce on the side. You can have it in it. You can put it inside. I always have mine on the side, so usually I have it on the side. So, like I said, that's something I like to do with this. But you can, of course, put sauce in the inside if you want. You can use the pizza sauce. You can use marinara sauce. You can use any type of pasta sauce. You can use the white Alfredo sauce if you want. It's up to you. Like I said, this is a meal that you can play with. does not have to be perfect at all, and it's not going to look perfect at all. Just something for you to play with and see what you can make up. It's how I always do this. So that's how I always cook. I'm always adding stuff to something and putting it the way I think it should go. So that's something that I've always done. So that's his baking. And baking, you got to kind of go by a recipe because your ingredients, you'll mess it up. So baking won't come out right unless you're making like an icing with some type of flavoring or something. Other than that, you got to make sure you're making it right. So I'm going to wash my hands, y'all, and I'll show y'all how this looks shortly. So give me a second. I'm going to get my hands washed off here, y'all. All right. I want to thank you all again for tuning in. Like I said, I know this video, my page, my channel, Sweets, Life and Love. Of course, I'm always talking about some kind of life, something while I'm doing my videos, life lessons, life experiences, any issues I'm dealing with, that kind of thing. I, of course, will always bring that to y'all. I want to make sure that I'm always transparent so y'all can know what's going on, no matter what I'm doing. So I always want to do that. So, because I know I'm always telling the truth about stuff. People say I tell too much. That's all right. I'll just keep telling too much is how I look at that one. So, and I'm going to flip this over so you all can see it. Oh, my bad. Okay. So, this is how I actually, can you all see? I hope you all can see that. That's how I actually did the calzones. I just folded them up with the ingredients in the inside. I'm hoping you all can see that. I just folded them on up. And like I said, I'm going to put this in the oven. I don't know for how long, probably about 20-25 minutes, and see if that cooks. If not, I would say just keep your eye on yours. I'll take it out when it's browning and when I see the cheese and all that kind of stuff melting and coming together. So about 20-25 minutes. So with that, I'll come back with the finishing video so you all can see the finished item. And I'll talk to y'all shortly. Alrighty. Bye-bye.